She paid for a first-class ticket, but they told her she didn't belong. What happened next cost the airline everything. "Ma'am, I'm going to need to see your ticket again," the gate agent said. Samantha looked up, her lips parted mid-sentence. She had just been texting her assistant to confirm her hotel check-in in San Jose when the gate agent's voice cut through her thoughts. It wasn't what he said, it was how he said it. His tone was flat, clipped, like he'd already decided she didn't belong there, as if her presence in the first-class line was somehow a disturbance. Without missing a beat, Samantha gave a polite smile and held out her boarding pass. "Sure, here you go." The man glanced at it for a half-second too long. "And your ID?" he asked. Samantha raised an eyebrow, but reached into her tote bag. "Of course." As he examined both documents, Samantha took in her surroundings. It was early afternoon at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, and the first-class line was nearly empty. Just a businesswoman ahead of her and a man in cargo shorts behind her, balancing a coffee in one hand and a tablet in the other. Everything had been smoothed up to this point: TSA, pre-check, no check bags, and her assistant had done a great job securing her a window seat for some quiet time before tomorrow's important pitch. Samantha didn't usually get nervous before meetings, especially with venture capitalists she had worked with before. But this one mattered: a potential new partnership with a sustainable tech firm could push her company into global markets. Still holding her ID and boarding pass, the agent gave her a once-over. Samantha was used to that look, not the flirty kind, but the measuring kind. "You sure you're in the right line, ma'am?" he asked. Samantha blinked, then laughed, not loud, just a small breath of disbelief. "I'm sorry," she said, even though she wasn't the one who should have been apologizing. This is priority boarding, first class," he added, as if she hadn't read the signs on her way up. "Yes, I'm aware. That's what my ticket says." He looked at the screen beside him, then back at her. "Right. I'm going to need a moment." Before Samantha could respond, the man in cargo shorts stepped up beside her. "Hey, is boarding open yet?" The agent's whole tone shifted. "Absolutely, sir. Welcome aboard," he said, not even asking for the man's ticket, just waving him through with a smile. Samantha watched as the guy walked right down the jet bridge. She glanced at the screen the agent had been looking at: same flight, same seat row. She already knew what was happening, but part of her still didn't want to believe it. The agent looked back at her, now avoiding her eyes. "Looks like there's been a seat reassignment. I'm going to have to ask you to step to the side while I sort this out." Samantha's voice stayed low. "Excuse me, that's not a reassignment. That's my seat, and that man just boarded with it." The agent gave her the kind of look you give someone making a scene. Samantha wasn't raising her voice, wasn't swearing, but somehow her presence had become the problem. "Ma'am, please step aside so we can continue boarding," he insisted. She did not. Not because he was right, but because she knew how fast things could go wrong when black women refused to comply. She stepped off to the side, pulled out her phone, and took a deep breath, the same breath she'd taken in a boardroom in Dallas when an investor interrupted her mid-pitch to ask if she really understood the tech behind her own software. The same breath she'd taken at a dinner party in Boston when a partner's wife mistook her for the help. Same breath, different city, but today wasn't going to end the way those moments did. Today, she was tired, but she wasn't powerless. "Is there a supervisor I can speak to?" Samantha asked calmly, clutching her phone like armor. The gate agent sighed, as though she'd asked him to perform surgery. "I already told you, ma'am, there's nothing I can do." "I'm not asking you what you can do," she said, her voice steady. "I'm asking for your supervisor." A pause, and then, as if on cue, another agent emerged from behind the counter, a woman this time, maybe in her mid-30s, light brown hair, pulled into a bun, tired eyes behind rimless glasses. Her name tag read Carrie. Carrie approached with a smile that felt empty, polite, but distant. "Hi there. I understand there's a concern with your seat assignment." Samantha nodded once. "There's no concern. There's a mistake. I purchased seat 2A, confirmed my boarding pass at check-in, and showed both my ID and ticket at the gate. That seat was just given to another passenger without explanation." Carrie turned toward the monitor and started typing. Samantha caught the gate agent, Nick, shooting her a look like he was annoyed to be corrected. Carrie scanned the screen, her eyebrows pulling together, but her voice stayed pleasant. Yes, I see your name here, seat 2A, but it's been reassigned. Looks like there was a change in the system. Samantha's voice sharpened. Without notifying me, Carrie didn't answer right away. Samantha pressed on. Let's be real. That man walked through with 0 questions. No ID, no verification. I was standing right here. I understand your frustration, Carrie began. No, you don't, Samantha interrupted. You understand how not to make a scene. That's different. Carrie's fake smile faltered. Her hands folded over the desk. I'm afraid there's nothing available in first class anymore. We can offer you a premium economy seat and a voucher. Samantha laughed, cold and short. A voucher? Yes, for the inconvenience. Samantha tilted her head. Inconvenience? You just told a black woman in front of a dozen passengers that she doesn't belong where she clearly does. You handed her seat to someone else, then offered her a coupon like she's here for a grocery sale. Carrie said nothing. Nick pretended to read the screen, clearly wishing she would go away. The waiting area had gone silent. People were watching, their looks filled with judgment, curiosity unsure of which side to take. A man, too, rose over-whispered something to his wife. Samantha saw her shake her head. She inhaled deeply, her phone still in her hand, thumb hovering over her contacts. This wasn't about ego. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She didn't need the seat to feel important. But she wasn't going to let this go. Can you give me your supervisor? Samantha asked, her voice low and firm. Carrie gave a tiny, reluctant nod. Moments later, another woman appeared Carrie's superior. Samantha took one last breath, knowing this would not end here.